Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and yeah, here last time we reached Kugane. So let's see. Tataru, are you alright? Strange, it's just me or is the ground swaying? No, Tataru, the vet is you got a bit too used to the swaying ship. You get used to the ground soon enough. Glad though I am to have arrived. I would remind you all that we are far from home, with limited resources at our disposal. Duly noted, brother. I shall take care not to enjoy myself. In any event, Doma is our final destination, and our first order of business should be to secure passage there. Captain Cavalain, I realize you pledged only to take us as far as Kugane, and I have no desire to change the terms of our agreement. I should, however, be interested to know how you would go about reaching Offat were you in our position. At the risk of stating the obvious, you are in a port. Surely there's a kind and generous soul who will aid you for the right price. You cannot be the first traveler seeking passage to Doma. The captain makes a good point. 'Tis like that Yugiri and Kosetsu were forced to come here for the self-same reasons we are. They must have found a way to offer it, assuming they're not still in the city. Ere we seek passage, mayhap we should first seek our friends. Leave it to me, Alvino. Making friendly inquiries is my specialty. Lest you forget, I got plenty of practice in Ishgard. Captain Cavalain, could you direct us to the nearest tavern? Desperate for a drink, are we? You may find one in that large building just beyond the pier. Whether your journeys have come to an end or are about to begin, the Shirakaze Hostelry is an ideal place to rest, relax, and reflect. Or so they say. With that, my dear science, I bid you farewell. As soon as we have replenished our supplies, we must away. Ours is ever a fast-moving business. The spice trade, you mean? But of course, surely you did not think I traveled halfway across the world and delivered you to our destination solely out of the kindness of my heart. Perish the thought. Thank you, Captain, and may the Navigator watch over you and keep you. Right then, to the hostelry? After you.
By the 12. I thought Ishgard remarkable, but this... We are certainly not in Eorzea anymore.
A tavern is a tavern, Alphino, here or anywhere else. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to do what I do best.
Pretty confident smile there, Tataru.
Oh, 1,000 pardons, my lady. The signs of the 7th dawn, I presume. I hope your voyage was not too trying.
And you are?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company, at your service. On behalf of Chairman Lolorito, I bid you welcome to Kugane and invite you to take refreshments at our local offices.
I'd rather not if we can avoid it.
Lolorito? I was aware his interests extended beyond the borders of Eorzea, but not so far as Kugane. Regardless, I am disinclined to accept the hospitality of grinning merchants, especially those who serve a master with whom we have such a difficult relationship.
My, such naked suspicion. I do hope that business with the Crystal Braves did not rob you of all faith in your fellow man. Or do you really think the chairman is plotting to drag you into another one of his grand schemes?
Always. Always.
I beg your pardon? If you are trying to win my trust, you are failing quite spectacularly.
Oh dear, have I offended you? Once again, I must apologize. Too much time in the Far East, you see. One is compelled to talk in circles round everything here, and one finds oneself longing for the invigoratingly candid speech of the Uldan markets. Though I see now that this was neither the time nor the place to indulge said longing. Might I suggest that we continue this conversation at the company offices? Too many eyes and ears here, you understand. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to say any more.
If I may favor you with the invigorating candy you apparently crave, it would be decidedly reckless to follow a man I neither know nor trust. Give me one good reason why we should accept Lord Lolorito's invitation.
Now there's the young diplomat I was told to expect. Very well then, I shall explain. You understand that you are come to a most reclusive and secretive nation, yes? One whose borders are closed to foreign trade save at this single port. Then it should come as no surprise that a great many parties have vested interests here. Merchants like myself are a given, of course, but for every one of us, you may be certain there is also an agent of a foreign government. Many notable nations and empires have embassies here, you know, including, of course, the Garlean Empire, with whom you have such a difficult relationship.
To paraphrase, Kugane is teeming with Imperial spies, one or several of whom could now be listening to our every word.
Something to that effect, yes. Beneath this veneer of bustling trade, a war for supremacy is being waged between world powers. One might say we were standing on the front lines, just not in public.
I still have my doubts, but he may have a point. I say we accept his invitation for now.
Saw a turtle man or something like that. I believe it was up there. And you must be Serenia Shadowstar, Slayer of Gods, Rider of Dragons, Savior of Ishgard, Stealer of Pants, as some more puzzling rumors are to be believed. I knew it. May I say what an honor and a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance, my lady? I just know you and I are going to get along famously. Now then, without further ado, allow me to escort you to the company offices. This being your first visit to our fair city, I shall make an effort to point out various landmarks along the way. If you would be so good as to follow me? Where? There's one, right? Of course, looking different. Not certain how I get up on that viewpoint, because this is a town area. I cannot use a mount to fly up there, so maybe jump from somewhere up above. That seems pretty far away. For a jump. Oh well. I say, what is that smell I'm wafting from yonder tea house? Could it be? Yes. Could it possibly be the scent of whispered secrets waiting to be overheard? Even the Everettes look different here. I note that our would-be host is elected to dress in the local fashion. Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. You are now standing in Tenkonto. Loosely translated, the name means Spire of Drifting Souls, which, as some of you may have deduced, makes reference to the Etherite which stands over yonder. The design is markedly different from those of Shalien. Do I trust its function is identical? A diplomat and a scholar. Will wonders never cease? Far Eastern Aetherite technologies have a long and storied tradition, I assure you. This particular example was constructed by the Onishishu, a collective of skilled craftsmen who guard their ancestral techniques with utmost secrecy. In short, you'll find it no less reliable than its Western counterparts. A tune, if you like. Yes. Ah, this is what it means. Blind me. Beautiful though it may be, we cannot spend all day staring at the Etherite. Come on, let us move along. The markets are next. Everywhere I noticed, doing a brief run around these few areas off screen, that you can actually climb that building from the outside. There are footholds. We have arrived at the largest shopping district in Kugane, Kugane Dori. Kugane, as you are doubtless unaware, is an ancient Hingan word for gold. So in this prosperous port where golden fortunes are made, lesser fortunes, or Kugane, are earned by the local merchants. It's all quite logical once you learn the language. Now you're beginning to speak my language. Oh, a kindred spirit. What a pleasure is this to meet a young lady who appreciates the value of hard-won coin. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company. You're with clients today. Why, if it isn't Master Caton, pray allow me to introduce you to my esteemed guests, but recently come from distant Eorzea. This kind and generous soul supervises all transactions here in Kugane Dori. Your sincerity is ever appreciated. As it says, I'm Caton of the Hakushi clan, and it is my honor to serve as overseer of these markets. As we receive many foreign visitors in Kugane, we accept all manner of currency. Rest assured, your Eorzean guild are welcome here. I invite you to peruse our wares at your leisure. Arms, armor, foodstuff, potables. Here you will find all of them and more. Why are we waiting? Seems quite a few people like this the outfit from the Valentine's Day event. I threw it away because I hated it. Don't think I haven't memorized every detail of that street. There's at least half a dozen shops that will soon be enjoying my customs. We're actually quite far from the docks now, aren't we? This place is bigger than I thought. The district up ahead has a different air about it. Where to next, I wonder? If we may pause here for a moment. This road leads to the Ijingai, the district in which Ijin, or foreigners, are permitted to reside. Would this also be where the foreign embassies are found, including that of a certain empire? Precisely. So you see, it would not be at all unusual to cross paths with one of our Gallian cousins here. With this in mind, I would encourage you to choose your words carefully. We would not want any physical altercations after all, such spats being strictly forbidden. The Sekizagumi punish breaches of peace quite severely. I have seen foreigners permanently exiled for a single violation, though to be fair, this is not common. More often than not, they are executed on the spot. What? Cut down then and there? You're joking, right? Would that I were, but alas, we samurai are a humorless lot. Why, I recall one instance when a foreign merchant in his cups dared lay hands upon an Hingan aristocrat in front of a Sekizagumi. The samurai cut him in half with a single stroke. I don't want to think about it. So as you can see, it would behoove you to behave. Failing that, we may be forced to part ways with one another, or you with yourself in the manner of a late Telegy Adelegy. Yeah, bit tasteless. Oh, how I amuse myself. But we must carry on. I have yet to show you the Gallian consulate. You look familiar. I mean the armor. Hey, yeah. You look really like a brass blade. So I guess this is the place of his organization. Damn it, of the East Aldenard Trading Company. This, as you may have surmised, is the consulate of you-know-who. Mark the guards at the gate. Are their uniforms not different from those you have seen in the West? Were you to travel far and wide, you would find that many such variations exist, often inspired by local designs. All of which goes to show that even a massive empire seeking to rule all of creation is not without its artisans. Looks actually pretty cool. That's close enough, savage. Okay. So that building is filled with Gallians. Danger, excitement, intrigue. Oh my. Compared to the Hingan architecture, this is drab and uninspired. Or perhaps I have had my fill of Gallian aesthetics, such as they are. Garleans like metal blocks. There's also much I could speak of: the soothing waters of Jonsens, the ephemeral delights of a pleasure district, but you're doubtless still weary from your long sea voyage. Let us retire to the company offices. I guess we could travel to Mericidia or the New World and find a man like Hancock waiting for us. I still remember this place was built for an old Uldan. At long last, we arrive at our destination. May I present to you our humble offices? We have much to discuss, so I will refrain from further prattle. Come, right this way.
Our thaumaturges took great pains to ward these walls against all manner of surveillance. Where business dealings are concerned, we do not compromise on confidentiality. You may avail yourselves of these offices for the duration of your visit. Come and go as you like, and know that you may speak freely here.
We might be safe from prying ears from other forces, but I wouldn't be surprised if they can overhear us.
Your offer is most generous, but I will not enter into any agreement which would leave us beholden to you or your master.
A legitimate concern. Allow me to clarify then. The chairman bids you consider this as an expression of his heartfelt contrition for the bloody banquet and the unpleasantness which followed. Never having been one to put stock in words alone, the chairman deems the provision of material aid to be a more appropriate demonstration of his sincerity. By sheer coincidence, your purpose here also happens to coincide with our own interests. That is, assuming you are come to aid the Doman Liberation Front.
How could... I will not bother to offer a denial. You have the right of it. To be specific, we are come in search of our Far Eastern allies, Yugiri and Gosetsu, whom we hope to assist in their fight.
The Auri Shinobi and the Rugadan Samurai? Then you will be pleased to know that they have both come to Kugane.
Are you sure?
Quite. They came here aboard a company vessel, you see. However, they encountered difficulties securing passage across the Ruby Sea.
The Ruby Sea? Sorry, I've never been any good at geography.
Forgive me. This calls for a map.
Okay.
We are here in Kugane, the sole open port of Hingashi, situated on her western coast. Doma, meanwhile, is here on the eastern coast of Otherd in Yansha. Therefore, if your friends are to reach Doma, they must first cross the Ruby Sea. Alas, this is easier said than done, as the Ruby Sea does not fall within the dominion of either Hingashi or Doma, being controlled since antiquity by a third party, namely the Confederacy. Said maritime collective is known for the consummate skill of its sailors, and for demanding that any vessel entering its waters pay a toll referred to as the Ruby Tithe. In exchange, the Confederacy's vast fleet guarantees the safety of those who travel within its territory. Now, as I'm sure you are aware, Garlemald conquered Doma some 25 years past, at which time the Empire saw no value in controlling the Ruby Sea, and thus did they turn a blind eye to the activities of the Confederacy. The recently appointed acting Imperial Viceroy of Doma had other ideas, however. She has formally condemned the Confederacy and declared that any who recognize their authority shall be branded enemies of the Empire. Bowing to this pressure, Hingashi severed ties with these toll-takers and forbade the payment of the Ruby Tithe, prompting the Confederacy to make it known that any merchants choosing to sail the Ruby Sea would do so at their peril.
No wonder they struggled to secure passage to Doma. What captain would risk such a journey given the circumstances?
Yeah. I mean, you might either be banned from Hingashi, and we already heard that Kugane, that the people here are quick to draw their blades, the police forces, or you get waylaid by the Confederacy. I don't know, what are they, pirates?
I'm told your friends were not so easily deterred from their course, but I know not whether their persistence bore fruit.
I say we follow in Yugiri and Gosetsu's footsteps and attempt to secure passage to Doma for ourselves. We will need to cross the sea in any case, and we may learn something of their whereabouts in the process. And should we find that they are still in Kugane, we can make the journey together.
In that case, I have some information which may be of use to you. No quid pro quo, I assure you. The chairman was most insistent that I aid you to the best of my ability.
Yeah, new markets, right? A free Doma would solve a lot of problems for the East Aldenard Trading Company in this area. And open new markets for him. And they will already be perfectly positioned to get into these markets. I'm not sure how I imagined our time in the Far East unfolding, but it definitely didn't involve Udans, and especially not these Udans. Still, whatever works, right? Oh, this place takes me back. It reminds me of the workshop of an Uldan lapidary I once served. He was not exaggerating when he spoke of their ward's efficacy. Whoever wove them did so with consummate skill. Though I am reluctant to take any action whatsoever that could be construed as placing ourselves in Lolorito's debt, we must avail ourselves to what means are available. Our Alamigan allies place their faith in us, and I do not intend to disappoint them. Okay, so I say we let that walk through Kugane be this episode, and next time we decide how to carry on from here. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.